Hey Patreon! So I want to apologize to all of you for not posting a lot of content recently. Going through some things in my life, struggles, whatever. And it's just becoming difficult to find the time to always make enough videos to get posted. And I apologize, and I'm working on, trying to fix that so that I can get enough content out there for everyone. And I know you guys are awesome and patient, so I want to thank you for that. So I posted a video over on YouTube, or will, whatever, when I don't know which video is going to get posted first. Anyways, it's about everyday preparedness. And I thought of it because we're getting ready to, or at least they're predicting a pretty severe storm for us tomorrow. So me and my son are out, kind of getting the place ready, making sure that, things that could blow away most likely won't. We are in storm season here, and most of the country is, or will be soon. Spring, that's when you have, your storms, your tornadoes. So most of the country will be experiencing going through that here soon. The rains, the floods, we're already seeing the floods from all the snow. Well, now we're getting into rainy season, and it could just, continue to get worse depending on how much rain we get this spring. And I know for around here, this is our stormy season, and it is for many of you across the United States. So what are you doing or have done to prepare for that? Do you have a location to go to? Do you have a plan in your home of where to go in your home or outside of your home? Do you have, supplies to just, get you through at least 3 days? Something like a bug out bag. It doesn't have to necessarily be a bug out bag. You can have just an emergency container that has, radio and flashlights, candles, 3 days of food that doesn't need to be cooked. Things like that you can have, and FEMA and all those places, they talk about this, and it's a really good idea. Most of your storms and stuff, even if you got hit by a really bad one, if you can have at least 3 days, you're doing good. Of course, it's better to have more, because as I said in the last video, and as most of you already know this, you can't just depend upon like government and stuff to come in and start bringing you food and water. We've seen too many times in the past that doesn't necessarily work out for people. So don't make that part of your plan, that, well, as long as I can last 3 days, after that, FEMA will show up and here's bottled water and food and stuff. Okay if they do, but don't bet on it. They don't have the best track record. Having, a backup plan to go. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bug out location like you would think of in a apocalyptic scenario, but knowing a place that you could go to if, your home is just uninhabitable even for a while. The roof blows off, it's flooding, can you go to your mother's house, your mother-in-law's house, your cousin's house? Do you have that laid out ahead of time that, hey, if the storm happens here, can we come and stay at your house for a few days? And if it happens there, you can come and stay at our house. You want it close enough that you're not driving forever to get there, but you want it far enough apart that the same storm more than likely wouldn't take out both places, or the same, disaster. These aren't necessarily bug out locations. They could be. It could, it could be the same thing, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe you're your fishing buddy that you're close with, and you're like, hey, you know what? We live in Tornado Alley, and hey, if your house gets knocked out by a tornado, you guys are always welcome to come over and stay with us, and it'd be nice if we could do the same with you. Yeah, sure, that's cool. Hey, maybe you could even, he could store some things at your house, and you store things there. You store things for him, and he stores things for you. That type of stuff is very easy to work out, because you're not talking about, we're going to live for your house forever now that the world's ended. We're just needing a place to stay for a few days. You can work that kind of stuff out, most people. Having the supplies to get you through that kind of stuff, some medical supplies, good first aid kit, enough food to get you through a while, some clothes, change of clothes, blankets, all those, and it could vary depending on your location of what you need. So it may not be one of those things, well, I've got 5,000 rounds of, of ammo, and I've got this gun. You know, you may not need that kind of stuff for a situation like this. We're just talking, you know, your house flooded, or a tornado took the roof off, or something like that. So there are a few different things that you'd want to plan for. I'm not saying don't have those things. But it is that time of year, and so, you know, you probably have heard, you know, different agencies talk about that, especially if you live in, you know, more in an area that's more prone to, you know, storms. But it's true, you really do need to get ready for that. You know, certain places, certain times of the year are more prone to, like, forest fires, wildfires, hurricanes, snowstorms, floods, things like that. Well, with spring coming on and kind of getting in full force, a large portion of the country is now into a, you know, storm season. So kind of work out that plan, because when it happens, you know, a tornado's on the ground and it's a mile away and it's heading for you, that's not the time to figure out, where exactly do we go, honey? We going to grandma's, or are we going down to the storm? Where's the storm shelter out for our community? I don't know. Can you Google it? Well, the power is out. There's no internet. That's not the time to figure those things out. You know, well, you better start grabbing food out of a cab. What do we take? I don't know. Have that laid out ahead of time. You know, have a tub or something that you can grab and throw in the back of the car or the back of the truck, or if you're able to, keep it in the vehicle, and that's your storm season vehicle, or a box or tub or whatever it is. And so that's something that probably most of you are going to experience. Not necessarily that you'd have to evacuate, but most of you are going to experience some kind of storm this year. Varying, you know, severity. I get it. Some of you it may not affect you. Some of you it could. So as we're preparing for golf ball and larger size hail and 60+ mile-an-hour winds tomorrow evening, start thinking about that. How ready are you for storms that, you know, could affect you in your area? Are you ready to go in your home? Are you ready to go if you need to leave your home? And I would suggest you start figuring that out now, long before it's too late, because you can't figure that stuff out while you're in the panic of, you know, whatever's happening. All right, thank you again, Patreon. I am going to do a lot more work on trying to get stuff out for you, and I do apologize. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later.